This is Victor with Down Yoga. Thanks for joining us. And on the class today, it's all levels, 60 minutes. We need only our mat. And we'll start sitting on our heels today in Vijasana. If you need to prop yourself, you can put a pillow, a towel, anything you need underneath your heels or your ankles to make it more comfortable. And you can rest your hands on top of your thighs, grow tall with your chest. And you can close your eyes for the first few breaths. Bring the attention in. Keep rolling the shoulders back, pointing your tailbone down to the floor, keeping the spine long. Feel the sides of the waist expanding. Create that wave motion with the breath from the belly to the chest, from the chest to the belly, as you inhale and exhale. Keep watching that flow. Get the breath a little deeper and heavier. The breath at the back of the throat for Ujjayi. Try to reach a little more with your back ribs. From the back ribs and forward, broadening the chest. Try to keep the attention with the breath. Breath still slow and even. Take a deep inhale, reach your hands up towards the ceiling. From here, you bend your right elbow. Hold your right elbow with your left hand and place your right hand right in between your shoulder blades. Lower your lower ribs down, lifting the fronts of your hips, getting long through the back side of your body. Keeping the breath still soft. Push a little more. And keep the right hand at the center of your shoulder blades. Reach your left hand back, internal rotation at the arm. And you can either hold on to your shirt, you can grab your hands together, and keep firming the back of your head towards the right forearm. If you're holding to the shirt, you can start walking the hands a little closer towards each other after each exhale. Try to rotate the arm a little more, bring the biceps close to the ear. These are Gomukhasana arms. And then let go. Reach your hands to the sides and up again. Now we'll switch to the other side. Bend your left elbow, hold on to the left elbow with your right hand. Then bring the left hand in between your shoulder blades again. Firm the back of your head to your left forearm. Keep pulling the front of your hips up so you're not arching the lower back. Pull a little more, open the shoulder. Then reach the right hand to the side. Flip the palm back, internal rotation of the arm. Bring your right hand back, and you can either way hold on to your shirt, hold on to your hands, whatever is available for you. Keep firming the back of your head again towards the left forearm. Roll the shoulders back and the tailbone pointing down to the floor. Sending the breath all the way underneath the armpits, expand the side of the waist. Slowly release, reach your hands up to the ceiling one more time. Now interlace your fingers together, flip your palms, reach your palms up to the ceiling. Bring the shoulders back, chest forward, but keep hugging the navel, leaning up. Get really long through the torso. Maybe look up to the hands, take a deep inhale, or reach a little higher. Exhale, lower down. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, move your hips forward into a tabletop position. And then spread the fingers wide and firm the base of each finger down to the floor. Try to bring the weight a little away from your wrist. Move the weight forward. And then you can have your toes tucked under or tops of the feet on the floor. Shoulder blades broad. 3, cat and cow, following your breath. Inhale. Bring the chest through the arms. Point your tailbone up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll the tailbone down to the floor. Hug the navel in. Push the floor down. 2 more at your own pace. And keep in mind that you are trying to grip your mat with the tips of your fingers. Drive the tips of your fingers down to the floor. And bring the weight to the base of your index finger. One more time. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat, round your back. Push the floor. Keep the back rounded here. Spin the triceps back. So the biceps are spinning forward, triceps back, creating lift through the entire arm. Try to tuck your tailbone a little more, hug the navel in, keep pushing the hands down to the floor. Now bring your spine back to neutral. Walk your hands forward, step back into plank pose. Form your thighs, push the heels back and keep pointing the tailbone towards your heels, supporting your lower back, still spinning the triceps back, and pushing down with the base of your index finger. So you want to move the weight away from the outer wrist here. Keep lifting the thighs away from the floor. Legs are really strong. Push the floor a little more, round your back a little more. Shoulder blades moving to the sides of the body. 3 more breaths here, strong plank. And then exhale, move your hips back into downward facing dog. And when we move from plank to down dog, the hands and the feet, they stay as they are. We don't move them. Push the heels down to the floor. Inhale, come forward into plank. Try to keep your hands and your feet just as it is. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just pull the hips back. Drive your heels down to the floor. Chin towards the chest. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, bring your knee and your foot outside the right hand, outside the right arm. Step your right foot down to the floor. Keep your arms straight here first. Lengthen. Move your shoulders away from the ears so you're sliding your shoulder blades down your back. Reach a little more with your left heel. Try to get a little deeper into the right hip and keeping the left thigh engaged here. And you can walk your hands forward, stay on the tips of your fingers. Keep sending the breath all the way to the top of your chest. Send the breath to the sides of the waist. Plant your palms again underneath your shoulders. Step your left foot forward into a malasana, a yoga squat. Bring your hips down. You can stay with your hips as high as it is comfortable for your knees and your ankles here. Lift your chest. Breathe to the sides of the waist. Now hook your thumbs together. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Broaden the chest. Keep reaching through the sides of the waist. Maybe look up. And pull your hands away from each other with your thumbs hooked together to engage the shoulder blades on your back. One more breath. Reach a little higher. Exhale. Set your hands down into the floor. Now you step only your right foot back. Set your right knee down to the floor. Untuck your right toes. Reach your left hand back. Bend your right knee and grab the outside of your right foot. Stay right here or bring the right forearm down to the floor. Dragging the right heel towards your glutes and try to stack the shoulders, a small twist here from the upper back. 3 deep breaths, in and out through your nose. Release your right foot. Bring your hands again underneath the shoulders. Tuck your right toes under. Lift your right knee off the floor. Lengthen the right leg. And then step your left leg back into plank pose. Move your shoulders forward. Come halfway down. Hold for 3, 2, One, lower all the way down to your belly. Tops of your feet on the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Keep hugging the elbows in. Push the tops of the feet on the floor, pointing your toes as far back as you can. So you want to lift your kneecaps off the floor here. And keep your neck aligned with the rest of your spine. Rolling the shoulders back, chest moving forward, really light on your hands. Exhale, lower down. Again, inhale, lift using your back muscles. This time, try to pick your hands away from the floor. Keep engaging the quads. Try to push down with the pinky toe down to the floor. So you have a small internal rotation on the inner thighs. Exhale, set it down. Now you can walk your hands 1 or 2 inches back. Elbows right above the hips. Elbows above the wrists, I mean. Hug the elbows in. Shoulder blades, shoulders back, chest forward. Straighten the arms. Come into upper facing dog. Point your toes back. Engage your legs. With an exhale, move your hips back into downward facing dog. Stay for 3 deep breaths. Lengthen the back side of your legs. Chin to your chest. Again, notice how the breath's flowing. With an inhale, raise your left leg. Keep your left toes pointing down to the floor. Bring your knee outside the left triceps. Left hand outside, the left foot outside the left hand. Reach the right heel back. Engaging the right leg as much as you can. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Get a little deeper into the hips. Keep engaging the right quads. Walk your hands forward. Fingertips down to the floor. Send the breath to the sides of the waist. Deep inhales and deep exhales. Bring your hands back underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Step the right foot forward. Sink down into your malasana. Hands together first. Push the elbows towards the knees. Lengthen. And then hook the other thumb on top this time, if you remember which one was on top on the first side. Pull the hands apart and reach your hands up, biceps next to the ear. Growing through the sides of the waist again. Maybe look up to your hands or keep looking straight forward. Weight towards your heels. 3 deep breaths. Lower the hands down to the floor. You will step your left foot back this time. Lengthen here. Place your left knee down to the floor. Untuck your toes. Reach your right hand back. Then you can hold the outside of the left foot with your right hand. Lengthen. Find that small twist through the upper back. Keep your arms straight or bring your left forearm down to the floor. Keep the breath going all the way to the top of the chest, in and out through your nose. Try to keep the shoulders always moving away from the ears here. Keep your chest broad. Release your left foot. Plant your palms again. Tuck your left toes under, left knee off the floor. Spin the triceps back, creating lift through the arms. Step back into plank pose. Shift your shoulders forward, come halfway down. And then inhale, upper facing dog or cobra. Shoulders back, chest forward. Engage your legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Always come back to the breath in downward facing dog. Push the heels down. Bring your chin to your chest. Get long through the back of your body. Again, looking between your hands. Raise your heels, bend your knees. You can either step or hop forward. Use your inhale to lengthen. Come halfway up. Straight back. You can keep a small bend on the knees if you need to. Exhale, fold forward. Again, inhale, lengthen. Straight back. Move the weight to the front of your feet. So you move the hips slightly forward. Keep reaching forward with your chest. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Again, inhale, lengthen. Push down the base of the big toe and the pinky toe evenly on both of your feet. Trying to lift the inner and the outer arches of your feet. Exhale, fold forward. This time, inhale, reach all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Mountain pose. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. You can close your eyes for a few breaths here. Firm your feet down. Grow through the legs, engage in the quads. Pull the front of your hips up. Keep pushing the shoulder blades into your back ribs. Broaden the chest. Create space for the breath. And imagine you're reaching the top of your head up to the ceiling. Get really long. Let's take a deep inhale. Reach Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe look up into your hands. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, straight back. Exhale, plant your hands. You can either step or jump back into your chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 deep, slow breaths here. Keep spinning the triceps down, pushing down with the base of the index finger. Protect your wrists. Inhale, look forward, raise your heels, bend your knees, step or float forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, reach all the way up again. Allow your palms to touch. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Inhale, reach. Grow tall, breathe to the sides of your body. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Bend your knees as much as you need so you can bring the hands down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, reaching forward with your chest. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Take your time through the vinyasas, don't rush. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back into the breath. In and out through your nose. It's looking between your hands. Raise your heels. Bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach again all the way up. Palms together on top. Exhale, Samastiti, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way into Chaturanga. Tops of the feet on the floor, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Always trying to spin the triceps back. Keep strong with the arms. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Lower the left heel to the side and reach the left hand up to the ceiling for this modified side plank. Keep spinning the right triceps back. This is in between side plank and side angle pose. It's a variation of buff. Place your left hand down to the floor. Reach your right foot back. Shoulders over the wrists. Bring your knee into your elbow again. Reach back one more time. Shift the shoulders forward. Come halfway down. Hold for breath. Push up into plank. Inhale. Exhale, three-legged dog. Reach your right leg back. Take a deep inhale first. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step your right foot in between your hands. Lengthen here, reaching forward with your chest. If your stance is too narrow, you can move your right foot slightly to the right. Growing with the chest, the size of the waist. Inhale, reach your hands up for crescent pose. Bend your right knee. Lift the front of your hips up. That's very important, so you're not dumping into your lower back. Then you can try to reach the left heel back as much as you can without arching the back. You can always keep your left knee bent here. Your back leg doesn't have to stay straight. Bend your right knee a little deeper. Reach a little higher. Exhale, lower the left hand down. Reach your right hand up to the ceiling. Stack the shoulders and keep reaching with your left heel back. Now roll to the outer edge of your left foot, and you can stack your feet for side plank pose, any variation of side plank. If you need to modify, you can bring the foot aligned with the hip. You can bring your left knee down to the floor. Take care of yourself. See what your body is asking for. Keep spinning the left triceps back. Exhale, right hand down to the floor. Step your feet again about as wide as the hips. Move your shoulders forward, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. The whole breath. Take your time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tops of your feet on the floor. Spin the triceps back again. Broaden your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, reaching the left leg back. Keep your toes pointing down, bend your knee. Bring your knee into your left elbow. Round your back. Lower the right heel to the side, right foot flat on the floor. Reach the right hand up to the ceiling. To this variation of side plank again. Try to stack the shoulders a little more. Bring the right hand down to the floor. Reach the left leg back to a one-leg plank. Bring your knee into your left elbow again. Reach your leg back. Move your shoulders forward. Come halfway down. Hold for breath. Push up into plank. Inhale. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale here. Exhale, knee to your nose. Left foot in between your hands. Keep your feet about as wide as the hips again. You can move the left foot slightly to the left. Take your time. Find space. Find space on the torso for the breath. That's what's mostly important. No rush on moving to the posture. Engage your left quads. Firm the center of your left heel down to the floor. Deep inhale, moving to crescent pose. And find the position of the pelvis here. Tilt slightly back. Point your tailbone down to the floor. And then start reaching the right heel back. Bending the left knee further forward. But don't tilt the pelvis forward. Keep hugging the navel, leaning up. Reach high with your hands. Watch how the breath's going. Try to slow it down. One more breath. Reach a little higher. Exhale, right hand down to the floor. Reach your left hand up to the ceiling. Twist. Keep strong with the right leg here. Then roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Stack your feet. Can stagger the feet. Maybe the right knee touches the floor. Any variation of side plank. Keep spinning the right triceps down. Moving the shoulders away from the ears. Give more space to your neck. 3 more breaths. Slowly, left hand down to the floor. Plank pose, feet as wide as the hips again. Chaturanga, halfway down. Keep your elbows in. Tops of your feet on the floor. Move your chest up, shoulders back. Up dog. Exhale, move your hips back. Downward facing dog. Still pressing the heels down to the floor. Bring your chin into your chest and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, lengthen, come halfway up. And then you hook your big toe with your index and your middle finger. For Padangusthasana, lengthen with a deep inhale. You can keep your knees bent here, or you can have your legs straight, see what works for you. Exhale, fold forward, bend your elbows. Draw the elbows to the sides. Release the tension on the neck. Reaching the crown of the head down to the floor. Try to move the weight away from the heels, slightly moving the hips forward. Inhale, lengthen again. Lengthen the spine by reaching the top of your chest forward. Release your big toe, plant your hands again, walk your hands forward into downward facing dog. Get long again. Through the entire torso. Deep inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over the wrists. Bring your thigh close to your chest. Inhale, reach back again, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose, round your back. Inhale one more time, reach. Exhale, knee to your nose, keep lifting your chest away from the floor. Spin the triceps back. Step your right foot in between your hands. Left heel down to the floor. Come up into warrior two. Keep the bend on the right knee, tracking over your second and your third toe, so the knee is going straight forward. And engage the left leg, the quads pushing back, still lifting the front of your hips up like we did on crescent pose, and square the chest with the sides of your mat. Bend your right knee a little deeper. Right leg straight. From here, you can make your stance a little bit shorter if you need to. Hinge from the side hip, moving to Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can land your right hand on top of your shin, down to the floor or to a block. Reach your left hand up to the ceiling. From the right big toe down to the floor. Keep strong with your left leg, pointing your tailbone towards your left heel as you firm your left thigh back. Keep hugging the navel in, that supports your lower back. Place your left hand onto your hip, bend your right knee. Walk your left foot slightly forward, moving to half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Reach as far as you can with your left heel as you reach the chest forward. And you can keep your left hand on the hip or reach up. Keep the gaze and the breath steady. You can hover the right hand away from the floor. Then you can bend your left knee, grab the ankle for Chapasana. Flex your left foot and keep trying to stack the shoulders here. 5 more breaths here. Keep strong with the right leg. If you have the foot, release it, come back into half moon. And as slow as you can, triangle pose one more time. Both legs straight, right hand down to the floor, left hand up. Exhale, left hand down to the floor. Pivot your left heel up. Both legs straight, lengthening the hamstring on the right leg. Flex your right foot, pointing your toes towards your face. And keep long here through the spine. Drive your right heel down to the floor. Keep lengthening, reaching the top of your chest. Place your right foot down to the floor again. And then heel toe your right foot outside your right hand. Firm the triceps back. Engage your left thigh as well, the left leg strong. Firm your knee towards the right shoulder. Pick your right foot off the floor. Bend your elbows, move forward. You can stay here or take into Kundalini Asana. Hold for a few breaths. Then you can either step or jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths in down dog. Watch what the breath's doing again, slow, deep, and even. Inhale, reach your left leg. Exhale, knee to your nose, shoulders over the wrists. Keep strong, spinning the triceps back. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, reach back one more time. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step your foot in between your hands. Lengthen here, reach the right heel down. Right foot on the floor, circling to warrior two. Firm your right leg, pushing with the right heel. Firm the inner thighs towards each other. Square the shoulders to the sides of the mat. Bend your left knee deeper. And keep softening the shoulders away from the ears here. Bring your drishti over the left hand. Soften the breath. Soften the shoulders. Straighten your left leg. You can make your stance shorter if you need to, hinging from the side of your left hip. Moving to Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can use the shin, the floor, or the block. Peel the chest up towards the ceiling. The weight on the base of your left big toe again. Keep firm in the right leg. Point your tailbone down to the floor. Move your right shoulder further back. Place your right hand on the hip. We're moving to half moon pose again. Bend your left knee. Walk your right foot slightly forward. Reach your left hand outside the left pinky toe. And then you can pick the right leg off the floor. Stack the shoulders, but you don't need to stack the hips here. But try to bring the right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. Keep long with the right leg. Engage the arms. You can stay here on half moon or take into Chapasana. Bend the right knee, grab the ankle, flex the foot to create more tension. And stack the shoulders again, broaden the chest. Firm the shoulder blades into the back ribs. Again, the breath is slow. The gaze is steady at one point. Release the foot if you have it. Come back into half moon pose. As slow as you can with control, bend your standing leg. We'll make our way back into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Lower the right hand down. Pivot your right heel up. Drive your left heel down to the floor. And keep reaching with the sides of your body forward. You can flex your left foot. And breathe. Keep long with the right leg. Engage the right quads here. Bend your left knee. Heel toe your left foot outside your left hand. Hands again as wide as the shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. And then drive your left knee to your left shoulder. Pick your left foot off the floor. First option, you stay here. Or bend your elbows like in Chaturanga and take into Kundalini Asana. Reach with both legs. Hold for a few breaths. And then you can either step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pushing the heels down. Deep, slow breaths. You can stay here for a few more breaths or take a break in child's pose. Bring the heels towards your hips. Or the other way, the hips towards the heels. Keep long, reaching your arms. Another 3 deep breaths here. Slowly walk your hands back. Sit on your heels again. And right now I'll take a couple minutes just to talk a little about crow. About the anatomy of our knees here. So bring one of your shins to the floor and one foot in front of you. So like on a low lunge. And just notice how your knee is rounded. When your knee is bent 90 degrees, notice how the knee is kind of like a ball. And if you put your elbow, bring the left elbow on top of your knee and try to find some stability there. It's kind of hard because it's like round here and round here as well. So try to push the elbow to your knee and see how that feels. Now, sit towards your heel, whatever on the leg that the shin is on the floor, and bend this knee as much as you can. So you'll see that gets a little more flat when you bring this heel towards the glute. You find like a flat spot here on top of the knee. When the leg is extended, it gets rounded. And when you flex the knee, it gets a little flat piece here. When you put your elbow here, you can find a little more stability because you get this roundness on top of this flat part. So that's why when we say when we go into crow, to bring the heels towards the glutes. So you create this little valley here on the knee and then the elbow can fit right in there. So we can try that now. You can come to the squat, and then you bring only one knee onto the elbow. So bend the elbow like in chaturanga. First, wrap the elbows in, like triceps back, elbows in, and bring one knee on top of the elbow, and keep your knee kind of 90 degrees bent. So notice how it is hard to keep the knee there. And then try to bend the knee as much as you can. Bring the heel towards the glute, and see if you can find a better surface there. So you can bring both heels in, the heels to the glutes, and still spinning the triceps back, elbows right over the wrists. And the more you bend your knee, the more stable you will be. Because normally when we are starting with curl, we bring the knees outside the legs. That's a little easier. But with time, we want to get away from that. And the more you bend your knee, the easier it will be for you to balance here. So let's do curl one more time that way. So come into a squat with your heels off the floor. Open the knees wide. Plant your hands as wide as the shoulders. And before you bend your elbows, really important, if your triceps are not engaged when you bend your elbows, you bend the elbows to the sides. So if you're here and I bend my elbows go to the sides. So before I bend my elbows, spin the triceps back and the eye of the elbow forward. So spin it back, and then when I bend my elbows will go back and not to the side. When you go to the side, you move the weight to the outer edge of your wrists, and that's really bad. That's what creates all the pain here. So spin the triceps back, hug the elbows in, and place the knee right above the elbow. Bend your knee as much as you can to create the flat spot at the knee and hold. Keep pushing with the base of the index finger. Round your back. Have to try to keep your shoulder blades broad. And from here, you can make your way back anytime into chaturanga, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Then push the heels down. Get long again through the sides of the waist. Take your time in down dog here. Stay here for another 5 breaths. Keep strong, reaching the heels. And the weight on the hands on the base of the index finger. If your next inhale, reach your right leg back. Bring your knee into your nose, and as low as you can, right foot in between your hands. Lengthen here. Step your feet a little wider so your stance is not too narrow. Reach your hands up to the ceiling into a crescent pose. Bring your hands together, hands to heart center. Lean forward. Engage your left leg the best you can, lifting your left thigh away from the floor. Move all the way towards the right foot now. Lean forward, coming to warrior 3. And you can use any variation with the arms here. You can keep your hands on heart center, reach your hands back, or you can reach your hands forward. And as you reach the left heel back, keep reaching the chest forward, keep strong. Another 3 breaths. Bring your hands to heart center again. Slowly, as slow as you can, try to step back into a lunge, hover the left foot. Keep your hands together on heart center. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. With an exhale, twist to your right. Elbow outside the thigh. Stack the shoulders. Any variation here. You can bring one hand down, the other up. You can take into the bind. Keep the left leg strong, reaching with the left heel, and the chest reaches forward. And working on stacking the shoulders, creating length through the upper back. Keep the breath slow. Stay for another inhale. Exhale slowly, set it down. Step back into plank. You can skip the vinyasa, and we meet in downward facing dog. Your choice. Once you get in down dog, another 3 deep breaths here so you can feel how your breath's flowing again. Expand the sides of the waist. With your next inhale, raise your left leg. Bring your knee into your nose, shoulders over the wrists, round your back. Lightly step your left foot in between your hands. Step the left foot also a little to the left, a little wider stance. Reach your hands up for crescent pose, a deep inhale. Hands to heart center. Lean forward. Start getting strong with the right leg here. Think about the warrior 3 leg again. Start moving the weight towards the left foot. Lift your right leg. Keeping the right toes pointing down to the floor. Broaden the chest, roll the shoulders back. From here, you can take any arms variation. Reaching back, reaching forward. Keep strong with the right leg though. Pushing the right heel back as if there was a wall behind you and you were pushing against that wall. 3 more slow breaths. Bring your hands to heart center. And again, as slow as you can. Try to slow down the best you can. Bend your left knee. Keep reaching the right foot. Reach, reach, reach. And then step into a lunge. Bring your torso up, hands together. Inhale first. Exhale, twist to your left. Bring the elbow outside the thigh again. Stack the shoulders. Take any variation. You can reach the right arm down, left arm up, or you can take into the bind if you have the bind. Keep the breath long, slow and even. 3 more breaths. Exhale slowly, lower down. Step back into plank again. Chaturanga, halfway down and hold. Engage your legs. And then lower all the way down to your belly. Now 2 options here. You can reach your hands back. Have the palms of the hands on the floor. Push your feet down to the floor. And take Shalabhasana. With your hands on the floor, reaching your legs. Second option will be going to Dhanurasana. Bend your knees. Grab your ankles. Flex your feet so your shins are engaged. Then roll the shoulders back. Start reaching the chest up and forward, using the muscles of your back. Keep soft on the shoulders. And then you add your feet. Start kicking the feet back, trying to lift the chest a little higher. And maybe pick your thighs off the floor. Try to keep the breath slow, even. And try to avoid opening the knees too wide to the sides as well. Try to reach a little higher. And stay for 3 more breaths. Exhale, lower down. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. Take your toes under. Engage your quads. Point your tailbone to your heels, like you're trying to lift your belly away from the floor. And then push up into plank. And then downward facing dog. Get really long again. Push the heels down. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, moving to pigeon, half pigeon. Bring your right shin forward. And then you can slide the left knee back if you need to. You can stay here with your torso up. Try to square the hips the best you can. Or lower your forearms down to the floor. You can start moving the left side of your hip down. And try to lift the right side of your hip slightly. So you target more the outer glute on the right side. And then go down any amount. You can make a pillow with your arms. Stay here for about a minute. Take your time. As you're here without any effort, just keep the attention with the breath. Notice again how the prana is flowing through the torso, through the legs. to the top of your head. How are your shoulders feeling? Your wrists? Keep the breath slow. Stay with it. Bring your hands under the shoulders again, slowly. Tuck your left toes under. Step your right leg back. Downward facing dog. And you can pedal your feet. If you want to make some circles with your leg, you can do that as well. Sometimes I like just pedaling my feet. Do whatever it feels best for you. Then down dog. Reach your heels down. Take a deep inhale first. Exhale, pigeon pose on the left side. Half pigeon. You can slide your right knee back. Broaden the chest here. Move the right side of your hip further down. Try to lift the left side a little up. And then you can bring the forearms down. Maybe rest your forehead onto your hands again or to the mat. Do your thing and breathe. Keep watching the breath. Keep releasing a little deeper. A few more breaths here. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Broaden the chest, lift it up. Take your right toes under, step back into down dog, or you can reach the leg back, make a few circles if that's what you need. I'm just gonna pedal my feet today here. Come back into downward facing dog, last one, 5 deep slow breaths. Bring the chin closer to the chest and take the deepest breaths you can, very slow. Now we'll make our way into seated, looking between your hands. Raise your heels high, bend your knees. You can either step or hop, cross your shins. Have a sit, reach your legs forward. You can find your sitting bones on the floor here. Pull the glutes to the sides or walk side to side. Firm your shins down to the floor. And bring the right knee in. Place the sole of the right foot on the inner left thigh. Again, keep the sitting bones grounded on the floor. Twist towards your left leg. Take a deep inhale. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. And with an exhale, you fold forward any amount. Keep reaching with your chest. Taking deep, slow breaths. So you're spinning the right inner thigh back, getting a side stretch to the right side of the body. Keep spreading your left toes wide for Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, lengthen. Reach your hands up again. Bring your hands next to your hips, and then let's switch to the other side. Reach the right leg forward. Hold behind the left knee, bend your knee, sole of the left foot on the inner right thigh. Readjust as needed so you can find the sitting bones again. Spread your right toes wide, twist towards your right leg. Inhale, reach up. And with an exhale, you can fold forward any amount. You can hold on to the ankle, palms on the floor, grab your foot. And so the left thigh is spinning back and reaching through the left side of the waist forward to the left foot, keeping the breath slow, even. Keep the breath soft, spread your toes wide. Inhale, lengthen again. Now reach your hands up again. Set your hands next to your hips, reach both legs forward. You can work on finding the sitting bones again. Firm your thighs, spread your toes wide. Grow tall through the sides of the waist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold into Paschimottanasana. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Keep moving the shoulders back away from the ears as you move the chest forward. Keep your legs strong. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Bring the hands next to your hips, bring your torso up. Bend your knees slightly. Reach your hands forward and slowly roll down into your spine. Roll all the way down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Keep your right knee in, extend your left leg. Deep inhale, hug your left knee a little closer. Soften the shoulders. Keep your left hand outside the right knee and bring the right knee across all the way to the left for supine twist. You can readjust the hips here if you need to. Try to soften both shoulders down to the floor. Inhale, slowly untwist. Readjust the hips first. And then hug your knees one more time to your chest. Keep your left knee. Extend your right leg. Inhale, draw the left thigh closer in. Now the right hand outside the left knee. Start bringing the left knee across all the way to the right. Readjust the hips. Soften the left shoulder down to the floor. You can gaze towards the left hand and twist. Keep noticing the breath, how it flows, how it feels the left side of the body. Stay for 2 more breaths. Slowly untwist, hug your knees into your chest one more time. Now squeeze your knees in as much as you can. Hug it in, round your back, round your spine. Bring the forehead towards your knees. Keep the breath still long and even here. Try to compress as much as you can. Let go of your knees, move into happy baby. Roll the tailbone down to the floor. Soften the shoulders, pull your feet down, and then rock side to side. Just keep noticing the pressure moving from the left and the right on your back ribs. Maybe make a few circles going to your lower back, the tailbone, and then switch the direction. Just play around with it. You can let go of your feet. Start setting up for your Shavasana. Legs a little wider, can be as wide as the mat. Open the arms wide as well. Might have space at home. Walk the shoulder blades underneath the chest. And keep sliding the shoulder blades as far away. Slide your shoulders as far away from your ears as you can. Get really long with your neck. Bring your chin closer to the chest. And then start moving your attention around your body. Notice where you are still holding tension. Bring the attention between your eyebrows. Release the muscles around the face. And notice the bite on the back of the jaw. You can let go of that too. The neck, the shoulders. Now bring the attention to your upper arms, triceps, biceps. Let go of the tension there. Bring to your wrists. And notice how your fingers just roll naturally towards the palms of your hands without any tension. Just let go of the tension there. Now notice your lower back, how it feels. Release the muscles there as well. Your thighs, the back of your thighs, behind your knees, your calves, your ankles. See if you're holding any tension with your toes. Let go of everything. And finally, let go of controlling the breath. Stay present here for the next few minutes. Keep doing that. The check again, noticing where the tension is building up. You can stay here for as long as you'd like to. I'd like to thank you all again for joining us, setting this time for your practice, sharing some of your time with us, Down Yoga. Thank you all. Namaste.